Hello everyone and welcome to an exciting interview with Middle East's hugely popular drifting star, Mr. Ahmad Daham. Mr. Ahmad, welcome to my channel.
How are you doing? I thank you for having me on your channel today.
So for my viewers who don't know about Ahmad, which is highly unlikely because he is a Guinness World Record holder for the longest twin drift. Not just that, here are his achievements. A two times consecutive winner, Red Bull Car Park Championship winner in 2014 and 2015. 2014 Jordan Drift Champion, two times King of the Desert at the annual King of Tires competition. You were also first place at the Emirates Drift Championship in Abu Dhabi in 2018 and 2019. Wow, are there any competition that you have not achieved? Now, so for a man who always says sideways is the new forward, tell us how it all began for you. What interested you to take up drifting?
Well, to be honest, it started off as a hobby. Originally, I am a tuner. I tune cars. So I spend a lot of time with cars and actually drift cars, race cars, rally cars. So when I was young, my older brother got me into this. He got me into the sport. But back then, there was not, there wasn't drifting. It was a speed test and time attack racing. Drifting is quite a new sport in the Middle East. It's an old sport in the world, but in the Middle East, people just got familiar with it maybe in 2011, 2012. So it's actually quite a new sport. So, anyways, after getting involved into cars a lot, I decided to choose a discipline because I tried rally, I tried speed test, and I tried drifting, but nothing gave me the excitement and adrenaline rush as drifting, to be honest. You can imagine like driving a 1,000 horsepower car sideways, going 200 miles, 200 kilometers per hour. It gives you that edge that you don't have in other sports.
Because I read that you were given a modified car by your parents as a gift as a teenager.
Yes, no. Before drifting, they actually, when I was in school, they bought me a car, so I can learn. So I can learn on the car. The most important thing is to understand the car inside and out. If you don't understand the car, you will not know what the car is capable of doing. So this is one of my advantages over the other competitors. I think I think I'm the only one in the region who tunes the car and drives the car. The rest, they take it to a certain workshop, they build the cars, and then they drive it. So I do all my settings and preferences on the car according to me, not according to the tuner. So that gives me a slight edge. But yeah, these cars are prepared to handle those kind of speed and that horsepower. You'll actually be surprised. You'll actually be surprised that driving a 1,000 horsepower car is sometimes easier than a 300 horsepower car if if it's built if it's built properly. If it's built properly, sometimes it might be easier because the wheels will be spinning easier.
So where did you learn to tune your engine? Because obviously you wanted to go faster and have more control over the race settings.
Actually, at home. again, my older brother, he taught me the basics, and then it was just trial and error, trial and error, trial and error since then. But yeah, and I've been tuning for almost 20 years now. So the first 2 3 years, problems, breaking engines, learning what you have to do. You have to learn. And a lot of people take courses, online courses, but if you don't apply them on a real car, it's useless.
So as you mentioned before that in the Middle East, the drifting scenes just picked up like somewhere around 2011. So how difficult or easy was it to get into drifting and make it as a full-time profession?
Not easy at all. It took a lot of commitment from myself, from my wife, from my family. I used to spend on drifting more than I used to spend on my house. So that takes a lot of commitment. And at the same time, it was quite a passion. Exactly. I'm lucky enough to have a wife that loves the sport too. So she helps out with it. And the thing is, it's quite risky because I left everything, all my work, everything that I would do just to keep on drifting. But after all this hard work, I was like lucky enough to get sponsors, to become a Red Bull athlete, which is one of my first milestones, something I've been trying to do since 2011. And finally, 2016, I became a Red Bull athlete, and then a Lexus F brand ambassador, and then Toyo brand ambassador. The more you work, the more you commit, the better you get. It's like building a CV. You do not start as a manager. You start as the lowest thing, and then you build yourself step by step. And it depends how you build yourself. And I was lucky enough that I tune cars, which helped me a lot in doing that, because my car was one of the top cars always, because I understood the car. I knew exactly what I have to do with it.
So now coming to the main topic, tell us more about your collaboration with Lexus and Red Bull and building the first ever drift version of the Lexus RC F in the world. Now going by the teasers, I'm super excited to see the final project, but please let me know a little more detail about this project.
Yeah, this is a partnership that happened with Lexus last year. We built the first one. It was quite tricky because no one in the world has built one yet at that time. So I had to also go through a lot of trial and error and research and development. So we learned a lot from the first one. The second one, which is being revealed soon, is, let's say, the creme de la creme of everything I learned on the first car. The first one we actually did in 2 months, which was quite challenging. This one, because of the situations of the COVID and the Corona, we it took a little bit more time. Instead of taking 6 months, it almost took, let's say, 1 month extra, almost 6 to 7 months. And at the same time, all my expertise since 2011, since I got into drifting, till this date, I put in this car. Everything I learned, everything I need, every mistake that I did in these 9 years, I put in this car. So this is a one-off build, let's say a dream car build of mine.
So which is your favorite moment from your drifting career?
That's easy. Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Uh, I was actually going to come to that also because that was my next question. Obviously, it must be such a pride to represent Middle East at the iconic Goodwood Festival of Speed. I mean, yeah, it's like a dream come true.
You can imagine, like, when I was a small kid, I used to watch Goodwood. Imagine I just wanted to go there just to watch it. Imagine being there on the start line. So you can imagine how much of excitement that was. Yeah, Goodwood was one of a big milestone. And to be the first Arab drifter to compete over there or to take part of it, this is also another thing. Like it's a good milestone for me since I started drifting. Yeah.
So tell us, what are your future plans?
This car was actually built to go to Drift Masters. It is one of the toughest championships in the world. It happens in Europe. But with this situation, I don't think it's going to be possible. I don't think there's going to be any competitions to the end of the year. We're going to be focusing on projects, activations, show runs, and all that kind of stuff. And we're hoping or planning for next year to compete in Formula Drift, which is the biggest drift championship in the world, which happens in USA. But that needs a lot of planning and a lot of budget, so we are still working on it.
So for someone who wants to get into drifting, what would your advice be for them? How to begin their journey?
If you would have asked me this question 5 years or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have the answer. But since quarantine, I got hooked to simulators because there was nothing to do. So I got a simulator. Yeah, and I realized it's very useful as a starting point. So for anyone who would start to want to learn drifting, my advice is to get a simulator, spend thousands of hours on it, just to understand how the car reacts, how the steering responds, and everything, and then jump into a real car. So at the moment, simulators are a good starting point, and you have a lot of champions worldwide who jumped from simulators into a real car and got first place from the first event. So that proves how strong the simulator is. So yeah, to me, that is the first step. and of course, to keep trying, never stop.
I think that is it for this interview. I would love to someday catch up with you at the track or at an event and have a one-on-one discussion.
You're most welcome.
But for now, I wish you good luck for this project.
And thank you for having me here, man.
Hope to catch up at your future events. Thank you for coming on this channel. Bye bye and take care.
Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day, man. See you soon. Bye. Bye.